The last 8 months have been pretty crazy for students as they prepare for the college admissions process. And in particular, the testing schedule was shut down for an extended period of time. So, Peter, can you give us some perspective on how this will affect the way admission officers are able to evaluate their applicants this year?
Sure. And I think first we need to just take a step back and understand how evaluations have been done or could be done in the past. There are a range of variables that admission officers will look at to try to determine whether a student has the capacity academically, intellectually, et cetera, to do the work in the first year of college. The SAT and the ACT are but one part of that equation. And for many years, colleges and universities have done validity studies to show that they actually can make good decisions about whom to admit without the testing. So that's why prior to this year, we'd seen over 1,000 colleges and universities go test optional. Now, with the pandemic and the fact that, as I've learned from deans of admission during interviews that we had back in the spring, that the deans were saying we can't hold kids accountable for things that they couldn't do. In other words, you couldn't comply with a normal testing schedule. There's been a 60% increase in the number of colleges and universities that have gone test optional. So the thing that the admission officers are going to point to first without tests will be the work that students have done in the classroom. That's historically been the best predictor of success. What is the rigor of the academic program and what is the performance of the student through all grades, including 12th grade, 9th through 12th, are going to be important indicators of likely success in college.
It does sound like the decision makers still have enough information to assess applicants academically. But I think the question is that enough though? How will selective colleges make their quote hair splitting decisions?
Well, and that's the big question right now. What I'm hearing is that there are going to be a couple of areas of increased interest on the part of admission officers. One, they're going to look at students as they have in the past, and they'll say, we know the student is good academically, but if we admit her, what do we get? So it's going to be the non-objective or the subjective part of the application that becomes more important. The extracurricular profile clearly is something that's of interest to colleges and universities. But more than that, they're going to be delving into the essays. And I think that what they're looking for in the essays that students submit will be a sense of purpose, a sense of orientation to one's future, having a direction, a sense of intentionality about why are you applying. I can assure you that any student, however good she or he might be, who is presenting a set of credentials that seems to be coming out of nowhere to a college or university is probably not going to be admitted, because the perception on the admission side is, well, she just wants to see if she can get in, rather than she's applying with a sense of purpose. She knows what she wants, and we're part of her acquiring the success that she would like to have. So I think admission officers are going to spend a lot of time looking at essays. In particular, they're going to look at essays that they might have listed as supplementals that sound like this. Well, tell us why you want to come here. Tell us what you like to study and why. Again, they're looking to see if the students have a well-conceived orientation to why this college process is very important to them. The other piece I think they're going to be looking at literally is the extent to which students have been engaging with them over a period of time. Is this contact with us? Is your application the first time you've had any contact with us, or have you been receiving information? Have you been participating in information sessions, virtual tours of our campus? Have you had an interview or a virtual interview? So I think that they're going to be tracking information like that as well, that gives them a greater degree of confidence that the student is indeed coming at them with a well-developed sense of purpose.